Hey guys, it's Bubbly. Welcome back to the channel. So happy to have you here today for the speed build. Now, if you are brand new and just finding us here, welcome. So happy you found us. Come on in, get comfy, relax, and let's take a look at this medium-sized family home that I created. Now, starting out in this video, you will notice that primarily the entire structure has already been completed. The exterior structure of the build anyway has been completed, and that's because when I opened up my game on this day that I started creating this, I did not intend to actually create a house or any type of build. I was really just messing around with the chimney to play around with making a chimney on a home. It's not something that I've done often. Usually I just stick the little objects that they have in the game on top, but I don't really build them on the exterior of a house. So I was just messing around with that. I was watching Simkim's speed builds. I'm like such a fan of her. If you guys do not know who she is or have not checked out her builds, definitely go check her out because she is an amazing builder, and she just gives me inspiration to improve and become a better builder. And so I was checking out some of her videos and noticing how she made her chimney, and I think she actually has a tutorial on it too, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I did watch a tutorial of how she created it as well. So I was just playing around, wanted to give that a try and see if I could recreate that, and it just kind of took off from there. So I really wasn't intending to build a house, but then I ended up building a house. So once I got finished with the exterior, I was like, I'm really liking how this is looking. So let me start recording so I can share with you guys, and here we are. So it's basically a small, well, it's not small, it's like a medium-sized family home. It's great for someone who has maybe 2 or 3 kids and a mom and dad, or even a single parent or grandparent. It could be used as like a grandparent's house, and they have their grandchildren come over and spend weekends or spend the night or anything like that. It's just a cute, smallish kind of home, but it's roomy enough so if you wanted to do your gameplay in the house, you're not going to have any issues with it being too small or too cluttered or too this, that, and the other. Sometimes when you get crazy with the clutter, it can get cumbersome when you're trying to play with your Sims in a house that has tons of clutter, just because they end up having routing issues and they can't use counter spaces because there's too much clutter on the counters and things of that nature. I try to avoid those things if I'm going to be uploading to the gallery for you guys to use, because I want you to be able to enjoy it and not have to worry about those issues if you intend to keep whatever's on the inside of the house. I think some people download houses and then they completely gut them and make their own, which is completely fine too. I would actually love to see houses or some of my builds that you guys have downloaded and, you know, changed up and made your own. I think that would be a lot of fun to see what you guys do with it, because y'all are so creative. I mean, this community is just full of super creative people, and I love seeing the ideas that other people come up with, because you will find things that you never would have thought of in a million years, and you're just like, oh my goodness, that looks so amazing. So that would be fun. So if you guys ever download any of my builds and you completely get them and change them up, or if you just make some minor changes or whatever, tag me in them. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what you guys come up with and what ideas you have to make the builds your own. So This particular house has a nice backyard that is full of entertainment for the adults and the children. So I created a pool that has a hot tub that's just kind of sitting up on a foundation at the end of it, which I thought was a really neat idea. I love how it turned out. I put some plants on around the railing of the hot tub, but I think I changed that out later for something else. I think I put lanterns or I'm not sure what I put there, but I do remove those and put something else there. And then off on the other side from the pool is like the kids play area. So there's a swing set, there's a tree house, doll house type thing, and then there's that puppet theater, which I don't use that puppet theater too often in builds, but I actually love the interactions that it has when you're playing in the game with the kids. It's super cute. I really love how that plays out when you're playing with your Sims in the game. So I decided to put that in this build. And then just behind the children's play section, there is also a little mini garden over there. There's some planters. There's some automatic sprinklers over there. There's a beehive, and then there's a flower arranging station. So there's a lot of activities going on in the backyard for Sims to enjoy and even up their skills. If you have Sims that are really into gardening or flower arranging, or even fitness. I didn't put like an actual gym in the build, but you can definitely up your fitness in the pool. And then if you wanted a bit of relaxation and maybe some private adult time at night after the kids go to bed, then you can head over to the hot tub and see what kind of happens. You know, one thing might lead to another, who knows. But so there's tons of pretty flower areas around this house, which I really enjoyed putting together. There's not really a deck in the backyard, but there is like a fenced off area where it has the barbecue, and then there's like a lounge area. So if you had a party or a barbecue or a get together, there's tons of places for your visitors to kind of relax, sit down, have a seat, enjoy some company, have some delicious barbecue. The only thing that I didn't put in the backyard, which I'm kind of wishing I had, was a bar. So that's something you could add. There's plenty of space if you wanted to add a bar for your Sims. I usually forget about adding a bar in builds. I don't know why. I think the main reason why I don't add bars into builds is because Sims will constantly want to get a drink from the bar, and it's kind of annoying to me because I don't want them to always be getting a drink. But the other part of that is I have installed the Slice of Life mod by KawaiStacie. It is, I absolutely love this mod. It's one of my favorites. There are a few mods that are must-haves for me in my game, and the Slice of Life is definitely one of them. It definitely brings more of a realism aspect to the game as far as how your Sims behave and interact, but it's not intrusive. Like, it's not a mod that's going to completely change your gameplay and make it seem different from The Sims. Like, I'm not really into mods that completely change how the game works, but the Slice of Life mod just adds a bit more realism, so your Sims react in ways that you would really expect them to react. Like if they have a drink, they're going to have a reaction from that drink. So they might get a little buzz, their cheeks will flush and get red, and they'll get little moodlets associated with whatever activities they're partaking in, which I really enjoy. So if you guys are interested in that mod, I will leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to check it out, because I definitely would recommend giving it a try if you're into modding your game, because I think it adds some coolness to your games. So if you guys are interested in seeing what mods I use, what my must-have mods are, I could definitely make a video of that for you guys. Just let me know in the comments down below if that's something that you guys would like to see. Now in the kitchen, I really love how this kitchen turned out. It's not really an open plan home. The kitchen does have its own little section, but there aren't any doors, just archways, so it's kind of semi-open. But the thing that I love about the kitchen is that big bay type window that's on the left wall there. And then I used some of those bench seatings that came with laundry day, and I put a shelf at the top of that with some plants. And I really loved the idea of having some bench seating in the kitchen. I thought it turned out so cute, and it is functional. I did test it out, and I had to make a few tweaks from when I originally put it in, just to bring those seats forward a bit. But your Sims can sit on those benches in the kitchen. So I just imagined like moms in the kitchen or dads in the kitchen cooking dinner for the family, and maybe the kids want to kind of hang out and watch and chat, or maybe they're sitting there doing their homework while mom or dad is cooking dinner, just so they have some family time. They can chat while they're, you know, doing whatever activities they need to get done. So basically, for me, in the kitchen is like a gathering space, but this kitchen is on the smaller side and it doesn't have an island, which is where people would normally gravitate to. So I thought having the bench seating was a good alternate option to that. So just off of the kitchen, there is a hallway that leads from the front door past the kitchen towards the back of the house, and that's where the living room and the dining room are. And the living room and dining room is one large room that runs the entire length of the back of the back of the house. Why was that so hard to say? The entire length of the back of the house. There is also a door that leads out. Oh my, words are a struggle today, apparently. Too much turkey yesterday, I guess, because it was Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrated it. I did. I spent it with my family, and it was a nice time. It was a very nice day. But anyway, so there's a door that leads out to the back patio and all of the goodies that are in the backyard. And then just off of the living room, there is an office/study, and that has a fireplace in it. It's kind of a small room, but I wanted there to be a fireplace in this house, so it's very cozy feeling, like an intimate room, cozy. There's a couple of chairs that are just opposite the fireplace, so I imagine it to be like a reading room. So if you wanted to, you know, grab a book and have some quiet time, you could sit in front of the fire and enjoy a book. Or if you wanted to have maybe an intimate chat, you could sit there with a loved one or a friend in front of the fire, maybe sipping on some tea or coffee, and just have a chat about, you know, life's great mysteries or whatever it is you need to talk about. And so there's also a computer in that room, and of course a bookshelf. But you guys know, if there is a computer in a house, your sim is going to be at it, especially if you have sims that come over, which I find super annoying, because in real life, just imagine if you invited somebody over to your house and they walked in the door, they're like, hey, what's up? And then they just walk straight to your computer and, you know, start doing whatever they're doing. It would be kind of rude, and, you know, it's not something that I would do without asking first, at least. And it wouldn't be the first thing I did when I went to go visit a friend. But, you know, the Sims have their own way of living life. So who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? So in the front area of the house, kind of the foyer of the house, there is just a couple of decorations, some plants. I think I put that mirror from Jungle Adventures, is it? I think it is, that large mirror that leans against the wall, which is my fave. I love that mirror so much. Put that by the front door with the umbrellas as well. I don't think I put a thermostat in this house. So you might need to add that if you have seasons in your game, because you know the Sims do react to the changes in the weather if they're in the house. So if you have seasons, you might want to add that to this home. Now, the downstairs, it's kind of sectioned off into separate areas, but it doesn't feel really closed off. It still has kind of an open, flowy feel, even though everything is in its own designated area, if that makes any sense. I really like how this turned out. The vibe that I was going for this house is that maybe it was an older home that they purchased and they wanted to kind of spruce it up a bit, and they're still in the process of doing that. So like in the foyer or the front portion of the house, there's some more traditional wallpaper that's in that part of the home, and I imagine that that was maybe original to the house when they purchased it and they haven't updated it yet. So there are a lot of like wood paneling and some of those brown colors that are more on the traditional side that may be original to the house, but at some point they plan on updating it, and like they started with the kitchen first because that was the most important room to them, and then they'll be working their way through the rest of the house, just giving it cosmetic updates, because the rest of the house is perfectly fine. So that was the idea that I had when I started, or as I was building this. So on the second story of the house is where all of the bedrooms are. I do believe, as far as the bathrooms are concerned, I forgot to put a bathroom on the main level, and I personally like to have bathrooms on the main level so Sims don't always have to go upstairs if they need to use the bathroom, which they frequently do. So there is a bathroom just behind the fireplace in the office. It's kind of hidden, it doesn't stick out, and that's, I think, one of the struggles I have with putting bathrooms on the main level is because I always forget to do it. It's always something that I add in after I've already done the floor plan. So then it becomes, how do I fit a bathroom in? So I try to find ways to fit it in so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb, like, oh, you forgot the bathroom, so you just stuck one here. So I did place it just behind the fireplace, so it's kind of hidden, out of the way, but I think it blends in pretty well, so it doesn't look like it was an afterthought, even though it was. But anyway, on the second story, there is a toddler's room and a children's room, and then a teenager's room. And I think I made the toddler's room pretty unisex enough so it could be for any sim. Actually, any of these rooms could be for any sim, but how I planned it out was the children's room I intended for a little boy, and then the teenager's room was for a girl. But like I said, any sim could use them. It's suitable for any sim. There's no limitations on what you can do with your sims. It's just the sims that I moved into this house, that was their family dynamic. So in the teenager's room, there's not a ton of stuff in this room there, but it's so cute. Like, I really love the windows that I use in this house. I haven't used them, I don't know if I've ever used them, but the two windows at the front of the house that are in the teenager's bedroom, I love the detailing on those windows. I thought it just looks super cute. So I feel like it gives the room a bit more character, which I really liked. And I just basically put a bed, there's a dresser in there, some knick-knacky things for like hair accessories, and then some photos on the wall, which those photos I really like because it just kind of gives like a personalized feeling to the room. Like, you know, you just get the feeling that there's a sim that actually lives here and get a sense of what their life might be like. And then I use the bookshelf, that bookshelf that has the books and the knickknacks already on it. It's so cute. It's one of my favorite ones to use. I use it often, and of course I did include laundry in this house as well. And then the toddler's room has quite a bit of stuff packed into it, even though it's a smaller room. So there's like a bookshelf, there's a toy box, there's that little bear chair, which is, I love that, it's so cute. I did include the high chair in the toddler's room because for me personally, I prefer it to be in their room than in like the dining room. It just makes it easier for gameplay. So I did put the high chair and the potty chair in that room. So you can handle all of their needs pretty much in that room, except for, you know, taking a bath and that kind of thing. So, and then there's the master suite or master bedroom that has an ensuite attached to it and a walk-in closet, which, you know, none of these rooms are huge, but they're definitely big enough for 4 or actually 5 Sims for this house. I mean, it's plenty of room for a family of 5 to live in this house. So you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this build. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and let me know what other builds you'd like to see on the channel. Also, if this is your first time joining us here and you enjoy the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm releasing brand new content. And this, if you would like to have this build in your game, the download link is in the description below. I will always have that in the description if you want to grab it for your game. And I am also Bubblyzen on the gallery if you want to follow me there. That's how you can find me. And also keep up with me on Twitter, you guys, because that's where I make all my announcements about what's coming up for the channel. So as always, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.